Hey everybody, Dr. Martha Lucas here. I'm going to show you my Gua Sha, facial Gua Sha video. So the first thing you want to do is get the hair up out of the person's face. So I use a headband. You can use one of these either, but I just generally use one like this. So you get their bangs out of the way. The first thing to do is to cleanse the face. Now, I do have people tell them don't wear their makeup because I don't really want to be taking makeup off, or I have a cleanser in our restroom. We have our pumpkin and green tea cleanser, my Zen pumpkin and green tea cleanser that people can use. But then I'm still going to clean with our astragalus and geranium skin prep. So I like to use gauze because it's a little more rough than cotton, so it's going to take a little more dirt and grime off. So just clean with that. And this is something you can show your patients to do at home. I have all my cosmetic acupuncture patients doing it just so they're doing something at home before we get back doing Mazen. You'll notice I also clean the neck because my Gua Sha protocol does treat the neck as well. So it's very complete for people. And you'll notice that the gauze will get some dirtiness on it. So the next step is I spray with our Your Daily C, get some vitamin C on the face. Then I tell them I'm going to put our Gua Sha oil on, our cupping and facial Gua Sha oil. It's going to have to go on the neck and on the face. And I start back by C7 because I like to, there's a little bit of a lymph drainage there. And so I feel like I want to improve the lymph flow. So a lot of people don't know about that back there, but I'm going to start back there. So the person is lying down. I have their skin all prepped now. And this is the tool that I like to use. And I start back here. So I just rub, back here. They're lying down. So this tool is just under their head. I don't make them sit up. I just do a good massage back here. It feels really good. I mean, you can obviously use the tail, or you can just do like this. So get started like that. It feels really good. Everybody's neck needs to be massaged. And then I start with using the tail for the jawline. And I do 9 times. So it's just a good idea to count. So 9 times. Then the other side. I use that same part for around the lips. Then I use the part with the little bumps on it and start up. At this point, I usually switch it to get those little nubs over here. And you can also swipe up like this with it. again, using the side with the little notches. Now you do have to be careful with the pressure you use. Some people are going to get a bruise, so you need to be careful not to do that. Then you can take this for the cheekbones, again, the tail, what I call the tail. But again, you can see your face is going to get red. So if it's your first time patient, you're not really sure how much pressure you can use, and they're going to get, they're going to have a bruise, you need to be careful with your pressure. Gua Sha, you're not going to be able to use enough pressure to actually stimulate the dermis. That takes too many pounds per inch of pressure, but you certainly are going to stimulate the skin enough and create an inflammation cascade to bring energy up. Then you can, I use the flat part, the actual flat part under here. And again, I don't use too much pressure until I get up here, because people will bruise under here, but then as I get up toward into the crow's foot area, I'm a little more aggressive right there and kind of go with the edge of the tool. So flat edge, flat, not too much pressure, more pressure on the edge. Okay, so flat and then up, flat, take the, go a little bit more edgy up by where crow's feet would be. Then I use the tail again for the eyelid and eyebrow area. And you know, again, this is supposed to be comfortable for the patient. I call it an acupuncture and Gua Sha facial because I always do acupuncture points first. And it distinguishes us from everybody else in the world who's doing facial Gua Sha for a $39 Groupon. If we call it an acupuncture and Gua Sha facial because you're getting acupuncture and Chinese medicine too, it distinguishes us. Then the flat part for the forehead. And again, the forehead can be a little intense, so making sure that you don't use too much pressure. I mean, you can use the edge if you want. Obviously the flat part covers more ground and you're still getting the possibility of the inflammation cascade. So you can, you know, use the flat part up. You don't have to do 9. I count 9. So, you know, you'll see when I get down on the neck in the middle part of the neck, I use a larger number. And you can see that it does bring blood up. It's creating a nice little inflammation cascade. Okay, then I comb the person's hair a little with the nubbin part again. Just, you know, people love their hair touched. So just, you know, comb. You don't have to do 9 if you don't want to, but it does feel good to get your hair combed. So just as a part of the relaxation part of it. Then for the neck, I do again the part with the notches and go up. And then 20 in the middle with the tail. And you know, obviously you can kind of do what you can change things up a little bit for whatever the person's goals are. Like if someone's really worried about their jawline, after I do this part, I might redo this part just to kind of really focus on that jawline. Okay, so obviously this is your basics, and you can change it in a way to kind of make it your own. So that's the Gua Sha part. Now, the next thing I do is I spray a little more of your Daily C on, because I'm going to do a Fountain of Youth complexion water mask. So this is the little paper mask disc. I put it in a bowl, and I put some, I don't know, a teaspoon or so of the Fountain of Youth on, and you can see that it hydrates. Sometimes, if you need to use a little bit more, pour that on there just to make it hydrated. Okay, so then it's wet. So what you do is you open it up. Now I tell people this is going to feel cool, temperature cool, because your skin is hot. I just made an inflammation cascade on your skin. So your skin is going to be hot, but here it is. So put it on. Now they're lying down, of course. Look, I can get it around the lips. I put these little eye things on the eyelid area because I don't, I want all the parts of my face to not age. So yeah, it feels cool, but it's good because, like I said, I tell them, you had an inflammation cascade. All of the scrubbing made an inflammation cascade. If you want to, you can, just put a little complexion water on the neck, or you could actually just hydrate another one of these and just fold it on the neck. That's nice too. I do that. Now I leave it on for about 10 minutes because it's going to take about 10 minutes to dry. So this is an opportunity for you to go in another room and do something else, take needles out or whatever. And remember, our patients like the relaxation part. So this is an opportunity. And I do want, this product has hyaluronic acid in it. We do want the vitamin C and the hyaluronic acid to really get into the skin. So leaving this on for about 10 minutes or until it's dry. You can experiment. Some days you go in the room after 10 minutes and it's not dry, then you can leave it on a little bit longer. Okay, so once this is done, it hasn't been 10 minutes, but this is a demo. So then it's a time for the skincare, right? Now for the area around the eyes, I'm gonna use the Edelweiss for your eyes. People love to know how we use this. 1 drop and then half and half. So half a drop does the whole eye area. Now, because it has retinol in it, which treats crow's feet, lines, I also do 1 drop around the lips. So 1 drop around the whole lip area. So those are your 2 drops, so 4 drops a day of the Edelweiss for your eyes for crow's feet. Now, because there's inflammation, you can use the Pearl Cream, you can use the Goji Cream, but because there's inflammation that we just made on the face, I love to use the Wakame eye cream because seaweed is cooling, right? And it's got stem cells in it. So for this particular treatment, I use the Wakame all over the face and the neck. That way, and obviously have sunscreen in your office because you don't want people going out in the sun with a little inflammation cascade going and they don't have any sunscreen on. So then you fix their hair back up as best as you can and you have your Gua Sha facial. So I hope you enjoy